Tom Mancini, he's not at the start either. He really struggled yesterday in the classic competition, and will be gearing up for the mass start at the end. So there's the winner from yesterday. Now, his tactic yesterday was to go easy at the beginning and build towards the end of the race. What's he going to do now? Is it the reverse? And the Japanese skier out and running. Look, the two Norwegians, 2 and 3, Boye and Kirkeng, are going off pretty much together. Now they will work together to try and close that gap on the Japanese Hirose. Now there's a group of about 4 that will go off. Mikhailin, Dufek, Sweet, and John Steele Hagenbuch going off for the USA. Then there's a little group of 2, Fredrik Nielsen and Juha Nurmi from Finland will try and work together. Number 10, Luca Compagnoni from Italy. Will cope 11 not starting. Bazultan of Kazakhstan just starting there as we go out onto the track, and this is where the split times are so important. We can see the advantage that Hirose started with. Now Hirose's quick when it comes to sprinting, and he's not making it easy. He's not sitting up and waiting for the Norwegians. But I don't think he's going 100%. He's just keeping something in reserve. Now, they're on the 3.3 kilometer course. Maximum height difference, 64 meters. So height difference, 64 meters. Maximum climb is the 47-meter climb. And they're doing 3 laps of 3.3 kilometers. It looks to me like they're going to come together as a group of 3. The Norwegians are working well together. Now they will take it in turns to share the lead. An advantage of slipstreaming. Number 2, Magnus Boye. Number 3, Andres Kirkeng. As you can see, Hirose Rio of Japan. Going into his first climb, first series climb. Now we'll get an indication when he goes through the 2.2 kilometer split time. Well, they had 15 seconds. I think it is starting to close. I think the Norwegians are definitely going out harder and skiing faster, but they aren't going, they're not expending too much energy either. It's going to be a slow catch, I think, for the Norwegians, if they can manage it. And then maybe Hirose will, if they do start to close up, that's when he can decide to put in a spurt and to try and ski away from them again. It's a little bit of cat and mouse. Of course, they will be relayed their split times. Coaches dotted around the track. So everyone is out on the track now. As Hirose reaches the high point of this 3.3 kilometer track. It does seem that Magnus Boye is doing most of the work. Kirkham just sitting in behind. It's quite a technical descent. So just looking to keep the oxygen flowing through to the muscles and staying out of the red zone. Hirose coming through 2.2K. Snow not particularly quick today either, with the new snow that's landed on the track. And 13 seconds. Well, they have closed up, but only a couple of seconds. King taking the lead now, and you can see that Norwegians are working together. They're sharing the lead. There's definite advantage, slipstreaming advantage from skiing behind, directly behind someone. This technical left-hand turn made even more difficult by the softening snow conditions. And Hirose, he looks relaxed. It's not looking like he's really going for it, not 100% yet. Oh, there's a gap there on the descent. Kirkham just skiing a little bit quicker through that left-hand turn on the descent. And who's coming up behind? That is the Armenian, Mikkelyan. So Hirose coming in to the stadium for the first of 3 times. Now Kirkham at the 2.9 kilometer split, 9 seconds back. So will they all come together? Boya distanced slightly. A good chance there for Hirose to look across, and you can see that he is being caught by the Norwegian Andres Kirkham. But Kirkham, if you remember yesterday, if you watched the competition yesterday, Kirkham went out in the time trial a little bit too hard and too early and struggled with his second lap. Kirkham gone out hard again, and just 4 seconds back now. Boya. Well, 13 seconds back. Mikkelyan of Armenia, 19 seconds back. Hagenbuch, 26 seconds back now. He started with a 37-second deficit, so John Steele Hagenbuch skiing well. Now here we go, this is where they're going to meet. So, Hirose and Kirkham are pretty much together. Now, will he go straight by, or will Hirose just hold him off for a little bit longer? You can see that there's a slight sheen on the camera lens there. It's ever so slightly precipitating, and it's rain rather than snow right now. We're right on the cusp, 0 degrees. So Kirkham goes past Hirose, and Hirose will accept the chance to sit in the slipstream of the much bigger Norwegian. Magnus Boya, distance ever so slightly there. Kirkham looking better in the skating technique than he did yesterday in the Classic. And this could be his chance. Hirose from Japan has been faultless in all of his events that he's entered. He entered the mixed sprint competition and won that on day 1. for Team Japan with his teammate Sobue Rin. Didn't compete in the individual sprint competition, Hirose, but won yesterday in very fine fashion. Now, has the pace dropped ever so slightly? Now that Kirkang has caught Hirose, he has slowed up ever so slightly. So looking at the it was Hirose that was leading, and then Kirkang put it up for 4.6 seconds, and he was behind. Boya was 13 seconds back on Hirose. We're approaching the 5.5 kilometer split now. Well, Andres Kirkang, looking at his results, he is definitely, he prefers the freestyle discipline. He won the national championships, the US national championships in 10K freestyle back in beginning of January this year. 22-year-old. So climbing up to the highest point on the course. Oh, and Finn Sweet has moved ahead of Magnus Boya. It's Sweet that is putting on a real spurt here. Oh no, that wasn't Finn Sweet, that was John Steele Hagenbuch. Number 7 is Hagenbuch, not Sweet. So the American John Steele Hagenbuch doing very well there. Sweet is wearing 6, Hagenbuch wearing 7. The two Americans are putting on a spurt. Hirose deciding to lead down the descent. It's always good to be slightly out in front, but Andreas Kirkang was very quick on the descent in the previous lap. And you can see the bigger athletes just having more inertia on the downhill. Out onto this little flat, and they're working together well here, Kirkang and Hirose, and Kirkang is really doing Hirose a big favor here. Hirose maybe has the quicker of the sprinting speed if they were to stay together, but look at this, Hagenbuch is up into the bronze medal position, and he has brought Mikalayan with him. Magnus Boya is struggling and is being distanced. So Finn Sweet, 14 seconds back, will think that he's got a chance to close that gap. Much better descending there from Andreas Kirkang of Norway. Skied through that corner, and you can see how Hirose, the Japanese, is having to work to catch up that gap that the big Norwegian was able to open up, but he's had the pace to do that. So look at number 7, John Steele Hagenbuch, putting on a real spurt. It's down to 16 seconds now. As Boya comes back into it, he's not done yet.
Just to catch up, to back up, to carry the speed. Definitely seems like they are running.
So Kirking has much better speed on the downhills. But they're still in this working together phase. They don't know, they're not attacking each other. You know that if they can keep skiing well, they can hold off John Steele Hagenbuch, who's coming up strong from behind. This is the chance where they get to glance across, and you can see Andres Kirking doing just that, looking across at the gap, because you can see that that is the American. So split time at 6.2K was a 16-second deficit for Hagenbuch, and it's down to 12. So great work from the American. Now, he doesn't want to expend too much energy catching, and then once he's caught, gets dropped on the final lap on the sprint.
Hagenbuch, he has something to prove. He knows it, and he is going to be putting the crosshairs right on the front two runners as the whole.
So this is going to be interesting now. Hagenbuch, can he catch? Or has he gone out too hard, too soon? I still fancy the Japanese here, Hirose. If he can stay with the Norwegian on the final descent, well, not the final descent, but the large descent in the middle of the track, then he really does have the speed up that final hill. Could come down to the wire, right down to a final sprint. And you can see how Kirking is trying to get as much energy out of the descents as possible. But it's effectively a rest for Hirose. Getting pulled along in the slipstream. Well, we saw Andres Kirking really tire yesterday towards the last quarter of his effort. Will the same happen today? And if it does, then Hirose will pounce. Hirose doesn't want to allow John Steele Hagenbuch to catch the skier from Dartmouth College. Big cheers for the American, wearing number 7 there. Cheers of "come on, Johnny." He has them in his sights. Oh, here we go, a move from the Japanese, Hirose. Well, he knows that he needs to drop the Norwegian before this big descent, and he is putting the hammer down. Now, can John Hagenbuch catch Kirking? I think that Hirose has got so much extra speed when it comes to that final climb that he will drop the Norwegian, but look at the American coming up in third. Hirose, well, took the help that the Norwegian gave him by sitting in behind throughout the mid part of his race. Now he's decided to make a break, going for it on the climbs. So we are approaching the 8.9 kilometer time split. As we see a skier being lapped there, number 81. That's the Brazilian Caio Brown. But it's all about this, the race for gold, silver and bronze. And on the climb, Hirose looking so good. Strength to weight ratio. Now, at the highest point, starting the descent, Andreas Kirking will take a lot of risk here on the descent to try and close that gap. There goes John Hagenbuch. Ooh, a little wobbly through the corner there. And Hirose doesn't have that ski speed on the descent. The Norwegian will close ever so slightly. Of course, as they're going faster, then the distance increases, although the time difference remains the same. 8.9 kilometer split. And what is the time difference? It's only 5 seconds. But there is a final little hill, and Hirose is going to use that. Hagenbuch dropped away ever so slightly now, 14 seconds off. Hagenbuch did his best to try and catch, but when Hirose made the move on Kirking, that was when they distanced the American. And Hirose looking very good because he does have the speed. We know that from the team sprint. Yesterday he finished really quickly. Ooh, doesn't look very comfortable around the corners though. But this is where he excels. So quick up the hills and going into that super fast cadence now. Now he's sprinting flat out. Hirose is leaving it all on the track now. And Kirking just can't match it. Kirking, well, he was within touching distance, and then Hirose put on the afterburners. Just 3.9 seconds, but look, Kirking is spent. He's looking over his shoulder. That's never a good sign. And Hirose smiling, barring a fall here. This will be a 3rd gold medal for Hirose Rio of Japan. And Andreas Kirking just using that moment to check behind. Hirose is going to take a 3rd gold medal here at these Lake Placid FISU World University Games. Is Japan again. And Hirose, a 3rd time on top of the podium. Andreas Kirking, who finished bronze yesterday, taking silver today. And a great ski from John Steele Hagenbuch. Must have been the quickest from today. Yes, he was. Skied the pursuit time, by far the fastest, but couldn't make up that deficit that he started with. So confirmation of the medals as we watch the Armenian Mikhailian.
Across the finish line for Armenia, where he attends North University. Just missing the podium.
Mikhailian, 46 seconds back. And Magnus Boye, well, he tried his hardest at the beginning, but then it all blew up on the Norwegian. Starting with 5 was Thomas Dufek. And this is Tim Sweet crossing the line for the United States. A real battle here between 10 and 16. And number 10, Luca Compagnoni, winning that little battle. Simon Chapaz from France, wearing number 15 from Grenoble. Yimur Besultan from Kazakhstan, finishing with bib 12 there. Maciusz Haracek, number 18, finishing for Poland.
Bib 22, that is Juverny Poikin, and he has a gold medal in the sprint from a few days back. Then it's
in the end, Hirose Rio winning in 22:44.
First place and cross-country skiing men's 10-kilometer individual pursuit free champion representing Japan, Rio Hirose.
Hirose Rio winning his third gold medal from the Waseda University. He's entered 3, he's won 3. Perfect record for the Japanese skier.
Lake Placid 2023 FISU World University Game winners.
So congratulations to our winners, and if you enjoyed that, then there's more cross-country skiing coming up in 2 days' time. We've got the relay competitions, women's relay,